Good morning, and welcome to the first of two public comment hearings regarding the proposed changes to the FY 2026 HCV Administrative Plan. My name is Margaret Jones. I'm the Director of Resident and Public Engagement, and I will be moderating this hearing. Next slide. I would like to begin by calling your attention to the slide on the screen, which provides information on translation services provided by CHA. This information is also available on CHA's website at www.thecha.org. Next slide, please. The public comment period began on April 1st and ends on April 30th. The purpose of the public comment process and public comment hearings is to provide an overview of the proposed changes to the administrative plan and to offer residents, members of the public, and other interested parties the opportunity to submit comments and questions before the document is submitted to the Board of Commissioners for approval and then submitted to HUD. Next slide, please. Comments and questions regarding the changes to the administrative plan can be submitted via email to commentontheplan@thecha.org, regular mail, fax, or during the public comment process. To encourage participation in this process, we are providing a variety of information on CHA's website at www.thecha.org. This includes the resident notice with details on how and where to submit comments, the full administrative plan, and summaries of the proposed changes. All of this information can be accessed through a button on CHA's homepage. At this time, I'm going to ask Stephen Field, Manager, Housing Choice Voucher, Policy and Accountability, to provide an overview of the changes to the administrative plan. Following this presentation, we will address any questions or comments regarding the administrative plan that have been submitted in the chat. If you have any questions or comments about a different topic, such as an issue regarding your unit or voucher, we will record the question and have CHA follow up with you at a later date. I will now turn over the microphone to Stephen to begin the overview. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Margaret. So I'm going to go over the proposed changes to the administrative plan. There are two primary reasons that we are making these changes. One is to be in compliance with the Housing Opportunities Through Modernization Act, also known as HOTMA, and also recently HUD provided updated HUD VASH, so that's HUD Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing operating requirements that gives us some flexibility on compliance that we are making one change for. Next slide, please. Recent HOTMA implementation guidance requires the administrative plan to have formal policies on the following items: assisting families finding a new unit and the use of a small area FMR. Both of these policies are not changes. We currently are just putting this information in the admin plan because it was required by HUD to be included in the administrative plan. In regards to assisting families finding a new unit, CHA assists families with finding housing in mobility areas through its mobility counseling program, and also assists persons with disabilities in locating units with specific accessibility needs. In regards to the use of small area FMRs, CHA does not use small area FMRs, but uses exception payment standards, which gets to the goals, achieves the goals of the small area FMR policy. Next slide, please. HOTMA also requires the administrative plan to have formal policies on the following project-based voucher items: circumstances on the use of non-competitive selection for PBV proposals, and CHA will only use a non-competitive selection process when the proposals are on CHA-owned land, and the required services to qualify for an accepted unit, These services include on-site services available for target populations that assist households remain stably housed. These populations include unhoused individuals, survivors of gender-based violence, and veterans. Next slide, please. Additional project-based voucher requirements in the administrative plan are the first item, actions taken if a unit no longer qualifies as accepted status. And in these cases, CHA may consider terminating or amending the contract. The next item is our CHA's policy on continued occupancy of an exempted unit after change in family composition. And in these circumstances, CHA will work with the family to identify a PBV relocation that meets their needs. Next slide, please. In regards to the updated VASH operating requirements, the recent guidance that I referenced earlier in the presentation provides additional waivers and flexibility under the HUD VASH program. And again, VASH stands for Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing. It's a partnership between HUD and the VA to assist veterans. And this flexibility allows CHA to do some more flexibilities. And the one CHA is choosing to implement is that CHA may use a non-competitive selection process for PBV projects for VASH units on the site of a VA facility. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Margaret Jones.
Thanks, Stephen. We will now move on to the public comment portion of the meeting. Are there any comments? We'll have 5 minutes for any and welcome any public comments at this time.
We have one question. Return South Lathrop to low-income housing with the 2017 Rights and One Cornered Wall Socket bill we agreed on in 2011. Control rules says Lathrop should have been mixed income according to location. Mr. Thompson, we will get back to you on that.
As we have not received any additional questions in the chat, I'm going to adjourn this public comment hearing. The public comment period continues through April 30th, and comments can be submitted by email, fax, mail, and in-person drop-off through that date. There is also an in-person hearing scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, April 9th, at 6 p.m. at the Charles Hayes Family Investment Center, also known as the FIC, at 4859 South Wabash. Thank you.